I've been working on my Brother machine, so that's why. So hey, Wolfpack, how is it going? So last week, you might have noticed I tried to do this great project. Remember this trim for that beautiful tweed right here? Remember this? I'll take it to the table. Have you ever had this happen where you're embroidering a huge hooped area like this and you walk away and somehow the hoop got bumped? That's not even proper English, but the hoop was bumped. And so after doing all of this, I have a little bit of a mistake right here. I also didn't really like the color, so it was fine, but I can't believe I did that. So I would love to know from all of you embroidery enthusiasts, have you ever had this happen? Because I was really not happy about that. I already embroidered for quite a while, and yeah, it didn't work out very well. So you know what that means? I was trying to work on a project that has to be finished by next week. Well, there goes that. So I'll show you my mistake, give you some tips for not doing that again. And I'm going to start on project number 2 because I need a couple great new tops. I want to add embroidery, and this isn't going to cut it. That jacket alone takes about 100 hours. So do the math. If I'm leaving a week from Monday, a week from Tuesday, that I don't even think there's 100 hours in there. Oh, you have, Pat? That makes me feel better. I feel much better. Oh, man. It was one of those things you just look at it and you're like, yeah. And it was like maybe 6 o'clock at night. I was working at home. I'm like, forget it. I think I'm going to have a glass of wine, have dinner, and go to bed on that note. So let me give you a close-up of what I did. You won't believe it. Yeah, it was really annoying. All right, let me take you. How about let's go to this table? I think you'll see this really close. Now, I could have tried to rehoop it and use some of the fabulous tools on my Brother machine to line it up, but okay, when you look this, now I still have the wash away stabilizer on here. This is the tool. I'm still going to use this because I love this dark pink. Look what happened. You see really close? Uh-oh. It all scrunched together. It popped out of the hoop, and that's where you end up with a hot mess. So what I'm going to probably do is wash away the stabilizer. These pieces here are out. Now, if you remember the design I used, it was part of my Touch of Couture. I enlarged these designs as large as I could. And then I also kept the smaller ones for, so this is a little bit smaller. But this here would be for the pockets. And then after I did this, I was going to make one more section. This is the corner of the jacket. Make this about that size for the sleeves. So this is going to be a project in the works, but for now, these little pieces here are out. So I might as well just cut them off. It's like, all that work. Well, the good news is I really didn't have to do anything. I just touched a couple buttons and then bumped the hoop. So there's the trash. I could post it on my bulletin board if I want to feel better about that. Big old mistake. So this project is going to have to go to the wayside because I really needed this to go with the tweed jacket. Now, one thing I noticed after this was embroidered, I didn't necessarily like the color combo. Maybe it's just me. So I think I'll probably go back, embroider maybe one of these just to get, I think this light pink matches great. The dark pink is a little bit too dark. See if I got the right side of the fabric. I do. So I was thinking maybe I should do the light pink and add maybe a metallic gold thread. So this needs a lot more thought process. So moving on to the next project. All right, so if you hop on over here, this is my Bohemian design from the Aveneer collection. So not all of you have this design, but if you have the Aveneer, you got the bundle, you got access to these designs. So I was thinking this design, I designed the Bohemian Collection to be used for a top. It could also be used for the center of a quilt or anything like that, but I thought this would look really good on a neckline of maybe a peasant top. But then I was thinking, wait a minute, this would look really good on a black knit. I'm thinking it's going to look really good. So let's head over and I'll show you that. And yes, I am live today. It is so nice to see you all. Pam, nice to see you. Glad you're back. I forgot to ask where you went though. It's salvageable, Susan. It is somewhat. I lost the second color on there, so I don't know. I think you're very right. You're very right. All right, so by the way, we're live on YouTube. I say we, all of us. YouTube, Facebook. I'm even live on Instagram today. So do me a favor, wherever you're watching, be sure to subscribe and hit the like button. And then I'll keep creating content for you. All right, come on over. Right now you're looking at the design. On top of it is the biggest hoop ever, which you know I love. It's for the Brother Aveneer. Full disclosure, I am a Brother ambassador. But this, I can do an entire half of a shirt. So what I'm thinking is, there's the design. I can't fit two in one of them. So if this was the left side of the top, this is the right side of the top. Also, this size was shrunk down a little bit because I tested this on the Luminaire before I got the Aveneer. So if I make this the full size and I do a V-neck, kind of a ruche tee with a V-neck, I think this is going to look pretty darn sharp. So here's the design. I'm also going to do the sleeves, but let's start with the main top. So here I have just a black, it's like a rayon. It's wrinkly because I just took it out of the dryer after sitting in there for a couple days. I want to see which side is the right side here. Has a nice stretch. It looks like, it's so funny. I can't even tell which part is the salvage. All right, let's take a look here. How does anybody have any ideas for what is the best way to embroider on this knit so it doesn't get all skewed? Okay, that, well, it stretches both, but I'm looking at the grain line. This is the salvage here. And let me just double check. If you don't know what the salvage is for you beginners, the salvage is the side of the fabric that's finished. So you've got the longwise grain line and the sidewise, lengthwise and sideways grain line. This really looks like the salvage. And this looks like the right side, and this looks like the wrong side. So I'm going to put a big old mark here so I can remember that. And the only other thing I need to do is kind of plan how big is my shirt going to be. So let me move this out of the way. And this isn't going to be exact, but it's going to be pretty darn close. So let me see which side is less wrinkly. I really didn't feel like pressing it, but I might have to before I embroider it. All right, so this is the grain line here. Okay, and paper pattern is here somewhere. I could put tulle on there. Nope. All right, let's go find a pattern. I just had it. I was walking around with it. Anybody see I Spy on there where I put the pattern? Because I want to lay out the pattern where you have the full, it's not on the fold. I have to lay it out completely flat. And no, I'm not using no-show mesh. This design is, I digitize it in a way where it will hang really nice. You don't have to have that stabilizer. So I'm going to use sticky back wash away. I told you I don't use that very often, but I do like the sticky back or 505 spray on the wash away when I'm doing a mesh or a knit. So this way I can lay the fabric flat on the stabilizer and go from section to section. The only other thing is that while I'm doing this, am I going to float the knit, which means you're going to hoop the stabilizer first and then you have your fabric on top. If I do that, then I can't really have one big piece of stabilizer and move the top. So I will show you that. All right, so where is, hold on, let me go look. Pattern. This is what I always tell you, this is what I get for cleaning at the beginning of the week. Well, I have a back. This isn't going to help very much. Oh, I could use this one. I could use the Bella. Don't worry, I wasn't taking you to a different camera. I was actually going to get my pattern. So I've got the back of the ruche tee, which I could use. Or I have this sloper right here that's a hot taped mess, but it'll work. I'm just tracing it. What else do I have? This looks like the Shirley. This is the Shirley. I'm not making the Shirley. So let's go with this sloper. Oop. I was trying to hang it. There, hang it right there. Forget it. It's going on the floor. All right, so here is the sloper I'm going to use. I'm going to trace this onto the fabric, but not until I put the stabilizer. Yeah, you can use 505 spray, Jen, on washway. I do it all the time. Don't hog it down, but just a light spray will hold your, I use it with tulle. So it'll hold that tulle in place, washes right away. Yep. That's what I'm thinking. Sticky back, tear away. Sticky back, wash away, I'm sorry, is the way to go. Hey, Dee. Oh, it's so nice to see you all. So where's everybody watching from today? It looks like we've got YouTube. Most everybody's on YouTube. The next amount of people is on Facebook. And welcome to the people on Instagram too. Nope, I don't need to fuse anything to the back. It should be fine. And let me just make sure I'm not missing anything else. Oh, that's where you went, Iceland. I couldn't remember. Thanks, Marcia. All right, head on over. I'll show you what I'm going to do with this. So I have, I keep dropping stuff. This is the size that my shirt is going to be. So I want to just go ahead and chalk it in. Now this is, I'm going to have a V-neck, but this will at least give me a guide. I'm just using tailor's chalk here. It brushes away. Don't use wax. Chalk for if you're working on a knit. There's my armhole. My side seam. And I'm just going to average that off right there. So, can you see that? All right, so let's go to the other side. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to go turn the iron on because I better press this out. You know what's going to happen if I don't. Okay, my beautiful Laura Star is going to heat up. All right. Again, this is not going to be my cutting lines for the pattern. It's just going to give me a guide for placement. So there's the center. Chalking it in. Doesn't have to be exact. Just chalk on the outside of your lines just so you have somewhat of a guide. So I know that there's that center line. And about here is my center bust. My V-neck is going to go down about right here, somewhere in that area. If you're wondering why my top would have come in and go out, if you don't have seams or darts, That's what you call a full bust adjustment on a knit top. And if you want to learn how to do that, I've done that in Fashion Sewing Club. You can go back and watch the replays. Speaking of Fashion Sewing Club, our next meeting is on Tuesday, and we've been doing a lot in the fitting category. How to fit armholes, how to fit sleeves, a lot of stuff like that. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut this off. I don't want all the extra fabric on here. I don't think my top will be quite that long. I guess I could measure from my neck down, maybe about like here. That's close enough. It might be a couple inches too long. That's fine. And you want to give yourself extra room. So you have room to put it in the hoop. Without wasting too much fabric, right? All right, and make sure I mark the wrong side. When you're staring at this black, all of a sudden you're like, which one's the right side and which one's the wrong side? So that's ready for the next piece. Actually, I'm going to put that right here so I can just slide it up. Because I might even add embroidery to the back, but I know I'm going to add embroidery to the sleeves. So on here, I'll take you over to the ironing board. Hold tight. It's not quite hot yet. So you can see that chuck mark really good. It looks like a skeleton, something like that. Hey, Donna. Hey, by the way, I know some of you are in, what do you call it? Muskegon. And it's not a Brother dealer, but Lakeshore Sewing up there. I dropped my Brother machines off there to get my needle threaders fixed, and boom, I was doing a fishing tournament. So I show up and I said, I'm doing a fishing tournament. I don't know how long this is going to take. Honest to goodness, I dropped it off at 5 o'clock on Thursday. Friday morning at 9:30, I get a phone call. They're already finished. So that was a bonus. If you ever break your needle threader, it's not too expensive to get fixed either. Yeah, you're probably going to see a cat on there. Pam, I better be careful of the placement of that, right? Oh, so great to see you all. All right, come on over. We'll go to the ironing board. Let me press this fabric. And I'll explain why. I could just lay this fabric on top of, say, the sticky back wash away. But if you have wrinkles in your fabric, you're going to have, the embroidery isn't going to be the same on both sides. So let me move some of my, you tell I've been working a lot in the studio. Oh yeah, she's a little bit of a hot mess. Oh, did I get fusible interfacing on my ironing board? No. All right, let's get that off. Trying to think, what was I working on last that would have caused that? I don't know. Oh, it's not quite hot yet. All right, let's wait. It'll make a little beeping and a flashing, unless I have to put more water in it. Oh, wait a sec. I might have to put more water in it. I saw somebody saying, am I wearing the Shirley? No, but I kind of cut the top a little bit low. We did this in Fashion Sewing Club. It's a pattern hack. You're going to love it. All right, so I have sticky back wash away stabilizer here. And what I'm going to do is pull away the back and cut this the same size as the pattern, so then I can just lay the fabric on there. There's going to be no paper on there at all. That way I can hoop the knit and then move it over and hoop the other side. So it's like taking wash away and using 505, except for the fact that my 505 spray is at home because I've been doing a ton of embroidery in the evenings. So this will be just as good. It's just a little stickier, but I like that for a knit. So let's see. Oh no, Dolly. Hope you guys are all feeling better. Oh, Jody, you go up there too? Yeah, very nice. And they were finished like instantly. Instantly. All right. Oh, I think the iron's ready. Let's go check it out. I'm going to put my wash away stabilizer. You don't want that in the ironing board. On the ironing board. Oh yeah, here we go. All right, so giving it this some steam. Ooh, like a little steam bath. Can you all feel that like you're getting a facial watching this? Ooh-wee. All right. You know, with this Laura Star iron, you can actually steam press through multiple layers of fabric. So I could have had that whole bolt over here, press the whole thing all in one. Look at that, all done. No weird marks because it's a knit. You know, it's really hard to press on knits, but I am using my iron shoe here, which is, I always use that when I'm pressing knits. All right, let's head to the table. Let's see, I think you're over here, maybe. Kind of crooked. Just a little. All right. So there's my pattern. Can you see the sketched pattern there? Now I need to have a piece of stabilizer big enough to do this entire design. So I'll probably go this way. I really don't need it to go, well, I could do it this way. I just need to make sure it's big enough. So where's my original piece? Yeah, I think that'll work if I go this way. That way, if I decide to add more embroidery on the shoulders or anything like that, I'll have plenty. So here's my entire piece. There's all the way up to the neckline. I'm just going to open this up and cut some off. This is the tricky part. See if I can just press a line so I can see where the center is. All right, you're probably like, wait, I thought you usually use this and then float it. Well, here's a whole nother thought process for you. Trying to pull away the backside. Come on. There we go. So this is the sticky side facing up. And I just want to lay this down. And I'm going to hold this in place. I'll leave that right there. There's the stabilizer. Here's my top. I'm going to go ahead and fold this so that center seam. No, I can't fold it. I'll go like this. I'm lining up the top, this center seam. Can you see that white? With the folded edge of the paper. So now just take this, lay this flat. That stabilizer goes almost all the way. I probably could have moved this up just a little bit. I'm going to do it again. Thankfully, it's super sticky. Okay, now let's try that one more time. Oh, that's better. What you want to be careful of is that you're not stretching the fabric. Unless you were turning this into like a really skin tight top, then you would stretch it as much as it would stretch on your body. And just make sure this line is as straight as you can get it. Almost there. All right, so yes, this is a rayon knit. My favorite fabric ever, especially because if I'm going to Austin, it's going to be hotter than blazes. And I want to have a cute shirt to wear. I already have all my skirts done. I love wearing skirts. So they're all finished. So this will, now I just have to have some more cute tops, right? Who doesn't need a few more extra cute tops? All right. All right. Our whole top is on this stabilizer now. So why on earth would I do that? Well, now I can hoop this whole section here. And then when I'm finished, just move it over and hoop this section. And if I cut my width to not wide enough, I can always add a little more stabilizer if I need to. But does anybody have any questions on this so far? So you have to imagine that's going to be the first hooping. And look at that. You've got the center. I can do the entire, if this is going to be the V-neck, you can imagine that this is going to be, what did you call it? The cat eye. And then this will go right up to the shoulder, just like that. And then I can add more to the bottom if I decide I want to. All right, any questions on that? And then I have a question for you. Just out of curiosity, do you think the colors of this design will work on black? I mean, I really think it's going to pop. The greenery in the leaves maybe won't stand out as much. I could turn it to a lighter color. So I want to head to the machine, and I want you to see what this is going to look like. And possibly we could use color shuffle to see what it's going to look like. So I know not all of you have the Aveneer, but a lot of you have Brother machines. Have you ever tried the color shuffle? Ever? Yeah, I'm just curious. Hey, Annette. You like the colors, Helen? I think it would look good on black. I think it'll be kind of like the reds and the oranges will stick out, the navy. I just don't know about the leaves. So I have the design on my USB. Let's head over to the machine and let's see what the color shuffle might do for us. I always have to check that I'm on the right camera. Okay, so you see that okay? There's another dress I did, by the way. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. I didn't make the dress, though. I just added the embroidery to the dress. Okay, so in here, I think there's one bright light right there. If I stand there, maybe I can cover it up. Wait, did I already put the USB in? Maybe I have it saved on something else. So I'm going to use my mouse so you can see what's happening and my finger's not in the way. And as I scroll over the mouse to different areas, it tells you what's in there, like what it is. So let's go into embroidery. But look at this. If I scroll right here, character patterns, split embroidery patterns. If I bring you really close, see that? That's all by using the mouse. So as my mouse scrolls over, it tells you. I love that. All right. Let's see if I can bring you a little closer and get that glare. Is the glare gone? Oh, pretty close. Probably see my outline. So let's go in and check our USB. There's designs I have saved in here. Let's go to here for the USB. If I have the right one in, I guess we'll find out in a second. Oh yeah, I've got a lot of stuff here. Oh, there's all the hummingbirds. I'm thinking of doing this on a different top on the sleeves. I think that'd be gorgeous. All right, so there's our bohemian design. So here's my, this is the one for the neckline. And if you look down here just a little closer, I'll bring you in a little closer here. So there's the hummingbirds. This part here could be for a sleeve, or you could back it different ways. Like, so it could be a centerpiece. Here are some extra pieces if you want to add. This would look really good like on the shoulder going over, or maybe on the side seams. So I've got a lot of stuff in here. But this here tells me the size. I don't know. I think that would look really good. It's 90 minutes. So when I click set, I'll bring you back here and try to get rid of that glare. See if I can hold a piece of paper over it or something. Kind of. Nope. It just wants to have a glare. There you go. Okay, so in here, I can see all the different colors that I have, the order that it embroiders. And if I click on edit and go under here for color. So leave me a comment. Do you have this feature on your machine, and have you tried it? When I click on color shuffle, I've got quite a few options. So I'm thinking I want vivid colors, but I could also pick random colors. So first, let's just check out vivid and see what it gives me. Ooh, look at that one. That's kind of cool. That has some blue in it. That would definitely stand out. Let's see what else we got. Then it goes to the reds. I don't really like that. Click refresh at the bottom. Trying to cover up that one glare you got, which is like right there. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Not really liking. Ooh, now we're getting a little better. And every time you click refresh, a new color palette will come up. And then if you're looking at it and thinking, wait, I think I liked something back there, just click these buttons here to scroll through the pages. I'm not seeing exactly what I want yet, though. Well, let's see what this looks like. Not really. If there's something you do like, just click on the heart and it will save it as one of your favorites. And just keep clicking refresh until you find something that you might like. That one's not too bad. Well, let's see what this looks like. Different. So you get the idea, right? But I really want to keep those oranges and reds. So if I click on cancel that out, go to random. Now it says I have 11 colors, so I can't pick that many. So let me take these off. This was a different project I was working on. And I could manually choose, or I can click auto, which it will automatically change. So click OK. And now it goes to a whole different screen. So it's automatically using the colors that you have in the design and changing them up a little bit. So let's see what, ooh, I like that. That would look good. Although I would like those to be a little more red. But I like the blue and the yellow. Oh, that's pretty. So this gives a lot of different options. I'll try not to cough. Allergies are killing me. So I could use this and kind of go through the colors and decide what I want to do. That's one thing I can do. Can you change the backing color? When I digitize, I do that. Yeah, you can, Pam. Yep. And then what else do we have here? I'm with you. It does help get that out of there. You guys all think the colors would look good? I like the blue leaves that kind of showed up on there. I like to use those colors that were in my 50 colors of thread. Fixing my the 50 colors of thread. I want to stick into that kind of zone, and there are a couple of blues and a couple of greens that are a little lighter than this. So I'll probably lay them all out on the fabric just to make sure. Hey, did she say this was her design, or is it on the Brother Aveneer? So Donna, this is my design, but I did it for the Aveneer. So anybody who has the Aveneer, They probably if they got the bundle package, there was a postcard in their package where they can download all these designs. So if you have the Aveneer, you got the bundle package, and you did not get your postcard, be sure to email me because I can walk you through how to find it. All right, so I'm thinking lighter leaves too. So let me go back here. Get a little quick sip of tea. All right. Let me try something else. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Let's go back through here. I like all the colors. And as I touch these different colors, I'm going to hit cancel here. It'll show me what part of the flower this is from. Right here. So if it's the greenery, there's greenery, and there's some little greenery. Is there more? Very little more. I tried to digitize it where all of that could all be done in one. Let's see what that would look like going with, say, a lighter green. Maybe willow green. Well, that would look good on black, don't you think? It's pretty bright, though. Try that. That looks pretty good. So that's aqua. And when I click OK, that looks pretty good. I kind of like that. So let me give you a little close. Let me bring you a little closer here without that bright light behind you. Here. I don't mind that aqua. And that would stand out on the black a little bit more. I'm thinking I like that. So then once I go into embroidery, I could always test this, but the knit fabric isn't that expensive. Once I go into embroidery, you have different layout options. I already have it digitized where it's the fastest possible, but in case you're using a design that doesn't, don't forget to click that and it will do it as all. So if you've got like 10 color changes and they could all be done in one, that's what that button is for. So for placement, I will use the projector for that. Let me just go to return here. On the edit screen, I really can't make this bigger. I could make it wider. That's kind of a really fat flower. But if I wanted it to cover up more space, I could do that. I think I'm going to leave it just like it is. I just need to decide what color that green is going to be. All right, so for the hooping, let's head over here and I'll show you. Opening the hoop. And I'll do this sideways. You'll probably see it better because I can get the whole thing on the video camera. So it looks like this side is first. There's my center seam. Make sure that's nice and straight. And on this big old hoop, you've got 2 arrows at the top. There's the 2 arrows at the top. Slide this in. I just want to make sure that I've got plenty of room. I'm not stretching the fabric at all. I just want to make sure the stabilizer's all in the hoop. So by the way, what I didn't mention is if you're doing this and your top isn't big enough to be in the hoop and have this extra fabric here, you'll want to make sure you cut the fabric wider and a stabilizer a little bit longer if you need to. Making sure it's all laying flat. All right, now I got to turn it a little bit to get my hand on here the correct way. Open up the hoop. Do I have it open up here? I do. And look at how nicely that lays. You're not stretching your fabric at all. There's no puckering. Everything lays totally flat. Go down here and tighten that hoop. And now I'll just check the back side to make sure. Might have to put this side just a little bit more. Get that stabilizer a little tighter over here. Yeah, looks good. All right, so when I bring this to the machine, and just make sure that your hoop is nice and tight and it won't pop open on you. I was not using the Aveneer when it popped open. I was actually using the Luminaire and not paying attention. All right, so I do need to put my embroidery foot on there, but I'll just lay this under here. Just be really careful of the needle. And the last thing I want to show you is how to use the projector for your placement. I still haven't decided on that greenery yet, but everything else is going to stay the same. So on here, click on projector. And look at this. This is like the biggest wow feature on the Aveneer ever. Look at this. I can see exactly what this is going to look like on the fabric. Actually, you know what? With this new greenery, it looks good. I can see the colors, exactly how it's going to show up. Get my fabric from underneath there. I also have some other tools where I can use the stylus. And I can make changes right on here. So do I want to make it bigger? Do I want to move it? What else do you have here? So click here. Rotate. Really not going to use any of those right now. I want to use the screen because I want to check, if I look right here, where this section here, so the blue line that you see, that's the part that I'm seeing on the fabric. And I know that that line, I need to make sure that that lines up with the center. So, all right, let's go back over here. I just had the stylus. What did I do with it? Where did you go? Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, it's right here. Okay, so when I click on here, now I can move the projector. So I want to move the projector over because I want to make sure that this design is lined up right on that center line. So you can see, I can see that red line right here. I don't know if you can see it very good. Yeah, you can see it pretty good. This red line needs to be on this white line. So I'm going to go in here under move. And I'm moving the design over. You can kind of see it flashing a little bit. This is what I'm clicking on right here. I could do it on there too, but I'm leaving the projector part on. This is just faster because I got to move it a lot. See how much that moved it? And now look over here. So now if I move my projector over, I can see that red line. And now it needs to come over this way and rotate a little bit. So I'll bring it back over. Oh, we're almost there. And now once I get this part here set up, I will rotate it. So there's my red line, but there's my white line. I'm off by about 10 degrees. So I could do it here. There's the rotate. Now, if you're going to rotate a lot, I would use the screen versus this. But right here, I can go 10 degrees. And it's not quite enough. We'll go a little bit more. It's actually mirror imaging. Wrong one. Oh, that's pretty close. I'm going to go back over here and click OK. Click on rotate. Let's go 10 more degrees. Oh, it's so close, but not quite. What's happening is there isn't enough room for that to rotate, so it's actually flipping it all the way around. So I'm going to have to just go back just by 1 degree. That's much better. So in case you're ever doing that, you're like, why is my whole design turning around? I didn't have enough room on there for that to happen. So now I'll go back 1 degree here. That looks pretty good. Now let's move it over just a little. Oh, too far. I think this is pretty cool, isn't it? And then if this is in your way, just click here. And I'm just using the stylus where you touch the light and it disappears. So I can definitely see that red line. I know that that's lined up. Line it up right with that center. Because what I'll do is this red line on this center piece, once I re-hoop and do this side, I'll make sure that red line will line up again with the center. So there we go. That is what it's going to look like on there. I think that's going to look really good. I'll turn the projector off and I'm ready to embroider. So now I just need to sit down with my colors. So the next thing I will do is kind of plan out my embroidery process. I want to do the right side, then I want to do the left side. I'll take some time, move that projector around so I can see, make sure it's right on that V that I want to do. And what I really want to make sure is whatever I do to the right side, it mirror images to the other side very easily. So real quick, I'll show you how to do that. On here, I'm just going to take this out of the embroidery cycle. On here, if I click OK. On the edit screen here, do you see this mirror image? It immediately switches it to the other side. So when I go back to rehoop, then I'll rehoop and make sure I'll make sure I line this part and this leaf up with each other. I'll probably focus more on the leaf and then make sure everything's lined up correctly. So hopefully that helps you, especially those that have brother machines that they're like, oh my gosh, I don't embroider very much and I'm not really quite sure I ever do it quite right. So that'll hopefully help. Thanks, Jan. Oh, hey, April. So any questions for me? Hey, Barb. The good news is on YouTube, just go back. You can watch the replay as soon as we're finished. Oh, yeah, you could use this method. If you're going to embroider on jeans, I would open, if the jeans are finished and you're trying to add embroidery, open the outside leg seam and embroider. Because that one usually doesn't have a lot of top stitching, so it's a lot easier to put it back together. Now, if you're sewing jeans from scratch, which I love to do, then you could chalk in your jean design. I would chalk in my pattern on your denim, embroider, and then sew your things together, unless you're covering like the whole side seam or something like that. Oh, when you tighten the hoop with the clamp, my fabric bunches up. So one little tip for you there. Number one, make sure that when you put that hoop in, Jen, do you have the Aveneer or is it just, what machine do you have? The Aveneer has those where the two arrows match up at the top. So you have two ends with the clamp. That really makes it helpful if you're using that big hoop. But in general, if it's bunching up, that means you have it too tight when you go to put the first hooping, like the first top hoop on. If that's too tight, it will squish together your fabric. At least that's what happened to me, and it didn't turn out very well. So I had to start over. Any other questions? Oh, Aveneer. Okay, so Jan, if it's on the big hoop, start at the top. Make sure that your ends are loosened up enough. Put your fabric in, and then I usually kind of, because that hoop is so large, kind of maneuver your fabric a little bit. Start at the top, close that clamp, then kind of slide it out a little bit and close the bottom clamp. That might help a little bit. Maybe. Oh, you're welcome. So, hey, I'm curious. Jay, are you sewing jeans from scratch or are you going to embroider jeans that you bought? Just out of curiosity. I love embroidered jeans. They're so in style right now. They're expensive. So if you sew them yourself, you probably save a lot of money. Well, maybe. Maybe. It depends. All right. Any last minute questions for me? I hope you all are having a fabulous week. There is no live show tomorrow on Brother. Our schedules got a little mixed up. So no live show on Brother tomorrow. And the next time I will see you is on Tuesday on Brother. And Kathy Gandy's coming on. What was she doing? I can't remember. But she always has great tutorials if you want to learn your Brother machine. Fashion Sewing Club, our next live session is next Tuesday at 2. If you haven't joined the Fashion Sewing Club, join us. You can go back and watch all the replays where we do pattern hacks, fitting, a lot of different things in there. And we meet live twice a month with all the replays hosted in the website. All right, I don't see any other questions. Perfect. All right, everyone, I hope you have a great day. Wish me luck on this embroidery adventure. Hopefully by next Wednesday, this top is finished. Now, if I finish all this embroidery and I'm ready to do the sleeves, if I decide to add embroidery to the sleeves, I will pop back on the live and make sure I show you how I do it, because the sleeves I think are going to be really cool. I would love your vote on this. Should I do a fitted sleeve, or if the top is more of a fitted V-neck, should I do something a little looser? I could even do a rayon with that bohemian design, the bigger one, where it's all along the bottom. All these decisions. Well, I'll go back and read what you say. Even if you're watching the replay, let me know what you think, and it'll help my decision making. Yeah. So you're welcome, Lori. I hope you guys have a great day too. Jody says a loose sleeve. I kind of like that. A loose sleeve, even, I don't want a cuff. I think, I don't know, I have to play with that a little bit. Something like that. Yeah. All right, everyone. Until next time, happy sewing. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you on Tuesday.